Hey, what's up guys, and today I'm going to be going over a few rulings for Lunalight. So yeah, first ruling is going to be SP Little Knight and Liger. So let's say you have a field, you go SP Little Knight, you banish an opponent's card. SP Little Knight says you can target a card in the field or graveyard, banish it. Also your monsters cannot attack directly this turn. However, Lunalight Liger Dancer is actually unaffected. So how SP works with unaffected monsters is your unaffected monsters are actually able to still attack after you do that. So that's actually something really important to know. You can use SP to clear a board, and you can still kill your opponent. Obviously here it is in game, but in an actual game, you could something like double Liger or something like that, which would be pretty cool. Next ruling is going to be Liger and Kaleido Chick with face-up extra cards. So Liger says you can send a Lunalight monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, and Kaleido Chick lets you send a monster from your extra deck or deck. So you can actually go ahead and send like face-up pendulums with these effects, which is pretty cool. So you can use that as a way to just get mons in graveyard or like save extra deck resources or something like that. That's really important to note. The next ruling is going to be Masquerade and Ghost Spell. So Masquerade has an effect that says if you fusion summon a Lunalight, you can add Poly from your graveyard or banishment to your hand. Then you can discard one card, and if you do, once this turn, if you fusion summon a Lunalight, you can also banish monsters from your graveyard. So once this effect is applied, when you would normally activate Poly, you can banish from your graveyard, right? But Ghost Spell would stop that. Well, you might think it does, but Poly doesn't actually include an effect to banish from graveyard. That was like Masquerade applying it. So because Poly doesn't have an effect that does that, you're not able to actually bell that. So that's something you might want to know. Next ruling is going to be Hound and like just control in general. So let's say you're going through emotions, you're summoning cards, you're summoning your guys. Well, so Hound actually has an effect that says you cannot special summon from your extra deck except Lunalight monsters while you control that face-up monster. So let's say like here, like I went Hound, summon Leo, add Chick. My opponent goes like Holy Food but take control of my Leo, revealing an Earth and a Dark. Well, what you can do is you don't actually control the monster anymore, so you're no longer locked, so you can still make like non-Lunalight extra deck plays. So you can go like Martin and do whatever you want to do depending on the actual game state. But yeah. Next ruling is going to be Tiger King, Brotherhood of the Firefist Tiger King. Tiger King has an effect that says once per turn, you can attach one material from this card, negate the effects of all face-up monsters currently on the field except Beast Warriors. So if there are no other monsters in the field, you can't actually use Tiger King's effect. That's something to note, because like you might want to like get a material in the graveyard, but you can't do that if there are no other monsters in the field. Next ruling is going to be Masquerade. So, like I talked about before, Masquerade effect lets you, if you fusion summon a Lunalight, you can also banish from your graveyard. This doesn't just work with Poly, it works with your other cards that fusion summon too. So, for example, Heavy Polymerization, you can also banish from the graveyard to apply Masquerade's effect as well. And any other cards that you would play that would banish, although you don't really play that many different cards that fusion summon. But yeah, that's something to know. Next rule is going to be Dugaris. Dugaris and no monsters in the graveyard. Dugaris says you can attach 2 materials from this card, activate one of the following effects. Skip your draw phase, draw 2. Skip your next main phase, summon from graveyard, and skip the battle phase and double the attack. I'm not gonna lie, this is not like a cut and dry thing. Because the question is, can you activate Dugaris effect when you have no monsters in the graveyard? I'm gonna be honest, ask your head judge. I wish I had a clear answer, but it's really gonna depend on your head judge, to be honest. Unless you're in the OCG, then you 100% can, or you're in DB. But if you're going to an event, you should just ask your head judge how they're ruling this, because they might rule it differently, which is unfortunate. But yeah, hopefully we get more of a consensus on like how all the judges want to rule it. Some judges might rule it one way, some judges might rule it the other way. You gotta ask your head judge at the event before you're playing. Next ruling is going to be Lunalight Tiger and Dominus Impulse. So Dominus Impulse locks you out of using light, earth, and wind effects if you activate it from the hand. Well, so can you activate Tiger Scale effect if you're locked out of Impulse? Well, the answer is yes, you can, because Tiger in the Scale is not a monster, and Dominus Impulse only locks you out of monster effects. Tiger in the Scale is a spell effect. Now, if it gets destroyed, you won't be able to activate the monster effect, but the pendulum effect you can activate, so that's important to note. Same thing with not same thing, but also something to keep in mind is that Alter Entity Nyarla is an Earth, so if you're locked out of Impulse, so you can't use Nyarla effect. That's something random, not 100% related, but another ruling is Lunalight Liger Dancer. If your opponent controls no special summon monsters, you cannot activate Liger Dancer's effect. Just keep that in mind. You can't just like send a card for free to get value or whatever. So yeah, also keep in mind too, you can only destroy your special summon monsters. You can't destroy normal summon monsters. So if your opponent goes like normal summon Dormouse, you can't just blow it up on there. But it's not so much a ruling, just like reading the card, but just wanted to, say that. Another ruling is going to be SP and temporarily banishing monsters. So let's say Martin was summoned from the graveyard with its own effect. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target a Lunalight card you control, except Martin, return it to the hand if you do special summon this card in defense position, but banish it when it leaves the field. So let's say SP, second effect, you your opponent activates the card, you go SP, banish your Martin and your SP, right? Well, in the end phase, the Martin's not actually going to return, it's going to stay banished, but the SP will return. That's something you should know. Also, with SP and unaffected monsters too, let's say that Martin was a Liger Dancer, which is unaffected by non-Lunalight card effects. You're actually able to still attempt to banish it with the SP Little Knight, and SP will be banished, but the Lunalight Liger will not be banished. So that's something you should know in case you maybe you want to remove your SP from the field temporarily so it doesn't get destroyed or something like that. You should know that. Another ruling is going to be Martin. So let's say you use Martin effect, targeting like Tiger. Your opponent chains a Bestial or DD Crow or some card to change it to a different location. The card's still gonna be returned to the hand because Martin reads return it to the hand, and if you do special summon this card in defense position, so it will resolve as much as possible. Also, another ruling kind of thing that I don't really have a replay for is cards like Centurion Chimera and Phantom of Yubel, basically cards that change the effect that don't necessarily negate. So those will actually work on Liger Dancer. Yeah, maybe Centurion Yubel new meta as a counter. But yeah, anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and take care.